Good afternoon and welcome. Let's take a look at our top story. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has entered his third day in intensive care after being hospitalised for persistent COVID-19 symptoms. The UK Health Minister, Edward Arger, has said that the Prime Minister is stable and in good spirits. He has conceded that doctors had given the Prime Minister oxygen support, but had never put him onto a ventilator. On Wednesday morning, British newspapers led with stories wishing the Prime Minister a speedy recovery. Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab, who is deputising for Boris Johnson, called him a fighter and said that he would be back at the helm pretty soon.
So all of our thoughts and prayers are with the Prime Minister at this time, with Carrie and with his whole family. And I'm confident he'll pull through. Because if there's one thing I know about this Prime Minister, he's a fighter. And he'll be back at the helm, leading us through this crisis in short order.
Secretary Raab attended the cabinet meetings in the Prime Minister's stead, but he is yet to assume full prime ministerial powers and is still working out of the Foreign Office. Major decisions have been left to the collective wisdom of the cabinet, and the government is yet to decide on extending the 3-week-long social distancing norms in the country. On Tuesday, 786 deaths were reported in the United Kingdom, bringing the total to around 6,200. More than 55,000 cases have been confirmed in the country so far. If this trend continues, chances are the social distancing norms will be extended. Now we are joined by Stuart Smith, live from London, for more insight on this. Good afternoon to you, Stuart. Second night in ICU for Boris Johnson. Now we are being told that his condition is stable and he is in good spirits. What are the latest details that you have for us?
Yeah, so that's exactly right. The government, 10 Downing Street, have said that he is fine, he is stable, and he is in good spirits. One newspaper today reported that his fever also seems to have come down, which is definitely a good sign. If we're looking for signs of optimism for Boris Johnson's condition, it is the case that those who are put straight onto a ventilator when they enter an intensive care unit do tend to suffer much more. So the fact that he's not yet been put onto a ventilator and has only just been given oxygen these past few days is a good sign.
Right, now this is of course a critical time for the country. Dominic Raab at the helm, and some big decisions need to be made. As an example, what to do regarding the current lockdown and social distancing situation. What is happening there?
Well, like you say, the way the British government works is that there is no designated second in command. So Dominic Raab was asked by Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister, to keep going whilst he's incapacitated, but decisions will still be made by the Cabinet, as that is the only official decision-making body that can make these decisions. Dominic Raab and Matt Hancock have been in discussions about extending the lockdown in London. It's not as strong as in other countries, but at the weekend there were many thousands of people still heading to parks and potentially spreading the virus. So they will be reviewing the lockdown measures sometime later this week to see whether they should be extended further, but it'll be a decision by the Cabinet, not by Dominic Raab, the Foreign Secretary, unilaterally.
Right, and looking at Europe, France has now recorded over 10,000 deaths. This is the fourth country in the world to do so. This is significant.
It is significant because especially there was talk earlier in the week that France may be heading towards its peak, but we just saw today the greatest number of deaths in a 24-hour period, 1,700, including hospitals and care homes. So the France's health minister has said that this is not the peak. We do need to keep going, and lockdown measures, indeed in Paris, have just been increased. You are now no longer allowed to exercise during the day between the hours of 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. So hope for France potentially that they are reaching the peak, but they're definitely not there yet, and they're definitely not relaxing any measures.
Thank you for that report. That's Stuart Smith joining us live from London for the latest on COVID-19 there.